Shalom, shalom. And the title of this lesson is Ain't No Backup Plan. This shit is happening. The will of Yahawah Yahawashi will stand forever. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahawah, Yahawashi, Rakhakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth, teaching this word and believing this word, Lord willing as a whole. Y'all can continue in sound doctrine. Shalom to the Yahawah, the sisters of this faith and this truth. Lord willing, you continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving, a silent, and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, Yahawah Shemashai has mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. Again, ain't no backup plan. This shit is happening. The Most High will is final. There is no backup plan, no what if. Every prophecy written will come to pass. The destruction of the wicked Israelites, which is the 2/3, the judgment of Esau, and the judgment of all the other nations, and the salvation of the elect, the 144,000, and the 1/3, which accumulate the great multitude. The story has already been written. We're just living it out. The first precept I want to go to is Isaiah 46, verse 9 to 10. It says, remember the former things of old, for I am Yahawah. There is none else. I am Yahawah, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Okay? So, it is the Lord's pleasure to destroy the 2/3 on this side through the ICBM missiles. It is the Lord's pleasure to afflict the 2/3 during Jacob's trouble. And it's the Lord's mission to judge Esau and the other nations on what they have done to the Lord's people, the Israelites, the Black, Latino, Hispanic, and Native Americans, right? That are scattered four corners of the earth. And just saying, for you simpletons, those that I'm calling black is the African Americans, the Jamaicans, and the so-called Haitians, right? Numbers 23 and 19, Yahawah is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. Have he said, and shall he not do it? Or have he spoken, and shall he not make it good? What the Lord said is final, but everything has an appointed time when it will be fulfilled. I'm going to go to the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and this is verse 3. It says, for the vision is yet for appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry, right? These prophecies are set for an appointed time. So they're all going to be fulfilled in due time by the power and will of Yahawah Yahawashi. 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Right? Esau is the end of this age. Jacob is the beginning truly of life. Right? The Israelites are going to step in the prophecy that was said to them by Isaac. Okay? And Esau and all these other nations are going to be our servants in the kingdom. Then after 1,000 years, Esau would be destroyed. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. This is going to happen. Everything else from when Yahawah prophesied to Abraham that his descendants in Genesis 15 will go to a land that's not theirs, but then they will come out with substance and spoil that nation. When the Israelites left out of Egypt, they left wealthy and they spoiled the Egyptians. That came to pass, right? Just the same as Joseph having a dream that the sons the brothers and the father and his mother was going to be on sheaths smaller than him, right? It's probably shafts shorter than him, and they couldn't understand, but it was because he was going to be a governor over Egypt, right? To bring forth the prophecy that was told to Abraham that his descendants will be in a land that's not theirs. That came to pass, right? What the Lord said, he approved the Israelites by leaving certain nations in the land of Israel. And we fell and started cleaving to their damn ways. That came to pass. The same as things that's prophesied of Yahawashi in the Torah, in the Psalms, and in the prophets. It came to pass. John the Baptist paved the way. Yahawashi started his ministry, doing miracles, signs, and wonders. And then guess what? Got persecuted and descended up to the heavens. This came to pass. Everything else is going to come to pass. So the will of Yahawashi is unstoppable. There's no alternative plan. Everything is predestined. The Most High's movie is already written. Let's go to the book of Romans, the 9th chapter, starting at verse 18. It says, Therefore have he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he hardeneth. Thou wilt say then unto me, Why doeth he yet find fault? For who have resisted his will? Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against the Most High? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, Why hast thou made me thus? Have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? So the 2/3 of Israel was created for dishonor. The elect, 144,000, the 1/3, right? They were made for honor. You Edomites was made for dishonor. And you were made to have a hardened heart like Pharaoh. But you're way worse, right? The Lord have given us to lawless enemies, right? And you other nations, you were made for dishonor, right? The Lord is going to have mercy on whom he's going to have mercy, and compassion on who he's going to have compassion. Even more when we're directing this towards the Israelites, 2/3 in the elect. Mercy is for the elect. When we even look at compassion just through the spirit or mercy, you other nations, Esau is going to be wiped away after that 1,000 period. You other nations, right, by the mercy of Yahawah Shemashai, you're going to be reserved, right, having descendants. And then after that 1,000-year period, you're going to go to your land, which was given to you as a possession. And you're going to be under subjection under the Israelites. Okay? Now that doesn't mean that you're made for honor, but you have a different role than the Edomites, right? I want to read this. I think I'm going to read it in the G&T. Sirach, the 39th chapter. In verse 21. This is what it reads. It says, No one should ask why things are as they are. Everything in creation has its purpose. So if you were created for dishonor, that was your purpose. If you were set up to be of the elect, you were set up for honor. That's your purpose. That's what he set you up for. That goes back to Isaiah 46:10. He's going to do all his pleasure. It was his pleasure to set this the elect for honor, and to set you 2/3, you other nations, you Edomites, for dishonor on this side, right? So this Proverbs 19:21. There are many devices in a man's heart, in his mind. Nevertheless, the counsel of Yahawah, that shall stand, right? It's many devices in a man's mind, but nevertheless, the counsel of Yahawah, that shall stand. That's why we see in the scriptures, the heaven and earth shall pass away, but the words of Yahawah Shema Shai will be forever. They will live forever. These are divine words, right? Isaiah, the 14th chapter, verse 24. Yahawah of hosts have sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass. And as I have proposed, so shall it stand. Right? I think I'm going to even read that in the NLT. Right? Everything the Lord had decreed or said, it shall stand. Right? We can't change nothing. That even an example of predestination. There's no free will. How is it free will if this is already set? He declared the end from the beginning. No free will. That one verse, right? So Isaiah 14 verse 24 in the NLT, it says, Yahawah of heaven's army have sworn this oath. It will all happen as I have planned. It will be as I have decided. In the Amplified, Yahawah of hosts has sworn an oath, saying, just as I have attended, so it has certainly happened. Just as I have planned, so it will stand. Right? It will stand. There's no backup plan. Only Yahawah's plan. Right? This is all set in stone in Yahawah Shema Shai. The kingdoms of men rise and fall at his word. America, aka Babylon the Great, is destined for fire. No amount of politics or money can change that. Nothing can change that. Right? Now, I want to go to the book of Daniel. Daniel, the 2nd chapter. Verse 21. It says, and he changeth the times. In the season he removeth kings and set up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. He revealeth the deep and the secret things. He knoweth what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth with him. Right? So Yahawah set up kings and he removed kings. Let's go to the 4th chapter, verse 17. Nebuchadnezzar, he thought he made Babylon glorious, or he found that kingdom. The Lord set him up to be a king. Esau, he think he did this on his own. He think he captured the Israelites on his own. Yahawah Shema Shai through the Spirit gave us to him. Right? Daniel chapter 4 verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, in the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set up over it the bases of men. Base mean the lowest of men. These are the Edomites. He set up whoever he want as a king. He set up whatever kingdom he want. It's all in the hands of Yahawah Shema Shai. Let me get one more, just to show the Lord have given us to lawless enemies. Right? This is the prayer of Azariah, the 9th chapter. And thou didst deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies, most hateful forsakers of the Most High, into an unjust king, and the most wicked in all the world. And Azariah, Hananiah, and Mishael was in the hands of the Babylonians. How much more the Edomites, the Greek captivity, the Roman captivity, the revival of Rome, America. Right? This is a lawless nation. Okay? So even our own people have to fulfill prophecy, man. The elect and the non-elect, the 2/3, are written to perish for their rebellion and unbelief. Right? So let's go to the classic that we all go to, Zechariah, the 13th chapter. This is another, these things should put fear in you. Like, what is you doing? It's like a lesson I did a few days ago. Are you working towards your forever kingdom? Are you working towards the everlasting kingdom? You got to work for it. Zechariah 13 verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, which is really talking about Babylon the Great, America, saith Yahawah, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. That's the 2/3. But the third shall be left therein, and I will bring the third part through the fire, which going through that famine of word, MOTB, Jacob's trouble, right? The nukes coming, right? That's being tried through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined. So through those tribulations, the elect is being refined, because it's really your faith is being tested, right? They shall call on my name, and I will hear them, right? In all those trials, the famine of word, MOTB, Jacob's trouble, nukes about to come down, right? They're going to be calling on Yahawah by Shem Yahawashi, and he will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahawah is my power, right? The elect is going to be confident in Yahawah by Shem Yahawashi, but the 2/3 is not, right? Amos 9 and 10. Let me get that. Amos 9 and 10. It says, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. Especially the Lord is preserving you 2/3 in Babylon, right? Some of y'all coming from other countries, right? Other countries just to come to America, and you most likely is a 2/3, and you're going to be just fucking destroyed on this side, right? So Ezekiel, the 9th chapter, going into that Yahawah, Ezekiel 9 verse 4 to 6, and Yahawah said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the forehead of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Right? This happened in the time of when Babylon was about to siege Jerusalem, but this is going to happen and fulfill this time. And that mark in the Hebrew is the Yahawah, the mark of exemption from judgment. And that's the elect, the 144,000 or 1/3 that you see in Revelations, the 7th chapter, right? Going from verse 1 all the way to 9, which speaks about the great multitude. That's Israelites of every kindred and every tongue and every language, every nation. Verse 5, and to the others, which this is stemming to the 2/3, he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house, right? The sanctuary. Let's get that. 1 Peter 4 and 17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God. You fake Israelites, individualites, brothers that's in this thing for clout, right? Fame, popularity, right? Guess what? If you don't repent and change your damn mindset in your act, judgment gonna hit you first, right? You claiming that you are this truth. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High, right? And if the righteous scarcely be saved, which is the elect, it's going to be difficult. It's going to feel like you barely getting saved. But the elect is still calling on Yahawah by Shem Yahawashi, like 2 Ezra 16, right? Don't doubt. Yahawah is your guide. Where shall the ungodly and the sinners appear, right? So those that don't obey the gospel is going to have that judgment with those that's claiming to be in this truth, in this house, in this sanctuary, in this temple. So the 2/3 want to follow Esau, serve idols, chase the world. Their evil, their end is destruction. No second option, no maybe. Yahawah Shem Yahawashi already said it. And it's some people that's of this truth, that's claiming to be in this truth. I'm going to Matthew, the 13th chapter. And I want to go to this point. Yes. Starting at verse 20. Starting at verse 20. It says, but he that received the seed into stony places, the same as he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it. Yet have he not root in himself, but endure for a while. For when tribulation or persecutions ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended. He also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he become unfruitful. Right? It's some that's hearing this word, right? But they receive it among the thorns, right? Because they're not rooted in this thing. Okay? And it was set to happen anyways. So judgment for Esau and you nations. There's no escape, right? For you Edomites either, and you other nations. Your fate is sealed, slavery, and then extinction for you Edomites. Okay? This Obadiah 1:18. In the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. Right? Because this is going to be your torment, your affliction in the kingdom, right? And after that that thousand year reign with the elect under Yahawashi, right? You Edomites is about to catch a hot hand, okay? And they shall kindle in them and devour them. That's what the Jacob, the southern and northern kingdom, a fire and a flame, is us devouring you. You're getting afflicted. You're going to be consumed. And what? And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahawah have spoken it. This did not happen, right? In that day, ain't nobody doing no Saul, King Saul. Not one of y'all gonna remain. Women, men, or child. Even if brothers in the kingdom got a Edomite concubine that they slaying, right? Because a concubine is somebody that's a servant or somebody used for sex. Y'all make it a big deal. But guess what? If she an Edomite, the son, the Edomite father, grandparents, they're all gonna be consumed. And when you understand, oh, that's not talking about Amalek. The descendants is those that come from the seed of Esau, from the father. So it doesn't matter, man, woman, child, grandparents. If you are of the seed of Esau, and we're going to be in the knowing, we're going to have a glorified body, a glorified mind. So we're going to know who the Edomites is. Okay? So this Isaiah 34. Isaiah 34 verse 5 and 6. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. And this is talking about on earth. Behold, because who's in rulership? Esau. Okay? And the other nations that's hand in hand with them. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Idumea is that Greek word going into Edom. And upon the people of my curse to judgment. Esau is the people of Yahweh's curse. The sword of Yahawah is filled with blood, and it is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, and with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For Yahawah have a sacrifice in Basra, in a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. Basra is speaking of the capital, right? The land of Idumea, which would be America. This is where they do majority of their wickedness, right? That spiritual Sodom in Egypt. And I want to cover 2 points. I want to cover first the curse part. I want to get that one. Let me see if I can get that one. If not, Salaki fan, I just want to get the right one. Salaki family. I'm trying to find it. I don't know if that's the one. I don't think this is the one that we want. Salaki family. It might come back to me. It might come back to me. Let me see. Yeah, it might come back to me. Sorry, y'all. don't want to ponder on that point for too long. Let me see. Is this it? Nope. Yeah, that's it might come back to me later on, but let's get the point of the sacrifice. Okay, let me read that again. Isaiah 34:6. The sword of Yahawah is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For Yahawah have a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. This is Zephaniah chapter 1, starting at verse 6. It says, in them that are turned back from Yahawah, and those that have not sought Yahawah nor inquired for him, hold thy peace at the presence of Yahawah Shemashai power, for the day of Yahawah is at hand. For Yahawah hath prepared a sacrifice, and he hath bid his guests. And it shall come to pass in the day of Yahawah's sacrifice, that I will punish the princes, the king's children, and all such as are clothed with strange apparel. Right? And the Lord is bidding the guests, the 2/3 of Israel, you Edomites, and you other nations, because many people of many nations are going to fall during that World War III, and the nukes falling on Babylon and in Israel and other places, right? Many people, but who's going to be preserved? The elite, you know? The Lord is going to set his judgment, on, all you nations, right? And it's nothing that any man or any woman can do, right? So let's get back to it. Salaki. I'm about to get this other precept. Let's go to Psalms 37. Psalms 137. Verse 7 and 9. It says, remember, O Yahawah, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, in the time where Edom helped Babylon destroy the temple. And this is what they were saying. Who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, speaking about America, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. When you read verse 7 again in the NLT, this is what Edom was saying. O Yahawah, remember what the Edomites did on the day of the armies of Babylon captured Jerusalem. Destroy it, they yelled. Level it to the ground. This is what they said when Babylon was destroying our temple. Okay? They're going to get a double portion of that. Right? I'm going to read verse 8 in the NLT too. O Babylon, you will be destroyed. Happy is the one who pays you back for what you have done to us. Now, we're not getting ancient Babylon. Ancient Babylon was overtaken by the Persian Medes. So this is speaking about the New Age Babylon, which is America. Esau stems a lot of his captivities, or a lot of the Israelites' captivities, to this American one, right? The Egyptian, the Babylonian when it comes to the paganism, right? The Greeks with the sports, right? With the Hellenization, what they do, they Americanize Jake, and the mindset of Rome, right? A lot of the major captivities, Esau studied and applied it in this American captivity. This is why this is the greatest and the worst captivity in history, right? And the Lord is not forgetting anything that they have done unto us. Okay, that's why they're marked, they're set, right? They're set for destruction. Ain't no ifs, ain't no buts, no way around it. Okay, so now let's go back. This is Isaiah, the 14th chapter, in verse 1. For Yahawah will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel, right? because Israel is getting salvation. Revelations 11, it was a falling away. So now Jake is coming back to the notion, right? Because it's a comma, and set them in their own land, right? This did not happen yet. And the strangers shall be joined with them. The strangers that go into the Hebrew word gar, which when Moses called his son Gershom, which means a stranger or sojourner in a strange land, okay? And this is the Israelites. This is speaking about the Israelites are going to be joined to Israel, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And this verse 2, is going to explain what people is they speaking about. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahawah for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Revelations 13:10, right? Those that lead into captivity shall go into captivity. Those that kill with the sword must be killed with the sword. There's no plan B for Esau or the heathen. The word already decreed it, okay? So the elect, the true plan was from the beginning that the elect shall get that salvation. The elect are not a plan B. They are the plan, right? Because it stems back to what happened with Noah. The Lord is redoing history over again, but he's doing it through the descendants of that chosen bloodline, the Israelites. Yahawashi predestined their victory from the foundations of the world. Let's go to Ephesians 1. Ephesians 1, verse 4 and 5. According as he have chosen us in him before the foundations of the world, that we should be holy. And only one nation was ever, where is the verse that the other nations was holy by name? When Moses was speaking to the Israelites in Deuteronomy, the whole book, you see in Deuteronomy 7 and 6, he was telling them that they're a holy people above all people on the earth. He was speaking directly towards the Israelites. And without blame before him in love, having predestinated us unto the adoption of children by Yahawashi and Mashiach to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will. Isaiah 46 and 10. That was his good pleasure, because the Lord is not slack concerning his promise. He made a promise to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob, and to the children of Israel, and he's going to fulfill that. Okay? The elect is predestined. And through Yahawashi, those children have redemption through the blood of Yahawashi. Who are the saints? Psalms 50 and 5. The saints are those that made made a covenant through sacrifice to Yahawah. And those are the Israelites. Psalms 148, verse 14. No other nation made a sacrifice to Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi. So it's the Israelites. When we look at the atonement, the priesthood, what did, when you go to Leviticus 11, I believe, no, not Leviticus 11, Salaki, spoke too quick. I think it's this one. Salaki. Yes. This isn't this the one? I think this is the one we want. Yeah. This is Leviticus, the 6th chapter. When it goes into the atonement, right? Let me read it. Starting at verse 6. And he shall bring this trespass offering unto Yahawah, a ram without blemish out of the flock, with an estimation for a trespass offering unto the priest, and the priest shall make an atonement for him before Yahawah, and it shall be forgiven him for anything of all that he have done in trespassing therein. Yahawashi was doing atonement even for himself. When we look at 2 Samuel, the 7th chapter, verse 12 to 14, Solomon didn't get the stripes of men. Yahawashi did. Yahawashi, he was an atonement for himself and for the nation of Israel. So we already seen Aaron was making atonement for himself. Let's finish it off and show he even made atonement for the nation of Israel. Okay. So when we drop down, there's just so many points in this. Salaki. I'll just keep reading. Starting at verse 8. And Yahawah spake unto Moses, saying, Command Aaron and his son, saying, This is the law of the burnt offering, and it is the burnt offering because of the burning upon the altar all night unto the morning, and the fire of the altar shall be burnt in it, and the priest shall put on his linen garment, and his linen breeches shall he put upon his flesh, and take upon the ashes which the fire hath consumed with the burnt offering on the altar, and he shall put them beside the altar, and he shall put off his garment, and put on other garments, and carry forth the ashes without the camp unto a clean place. Salaki, I just want to get to the main points. Let me get to the main point. Let's go to Leviticus the 16th chapter. So we could just go straight to the point, because it said Day of Atonement in Leviticus the 6th chapter verse 6. But we're going to Leviticus 16, where it actually goes into the law of the atonement, right? So we're gonna start at verse 5. It says, and he shall take of the congregation the children of Israel 2 kids of the goat for a sin offering, and 1 ram for a burnt offering. And Aaron shall offer his bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself, and make an atonement for himself and for his house. Right? So again, like it said in Leviticus 6, it was for himself, right? But this one went even further, because this is the actual spot we should have went to, where it says for himself and make atonement for his household. And he shall take 2 goats and present them before Yahawah at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Now, I believe this is where we're going to drop down. It's starting at verse 15. Then shall he kill the goat of the sin offering that is for the people, and bring his blood within the veil, and do with the blood as he did with the blood of the bullock, and sprinkle it upon the mercy seat and before the mercy seat. And he shall make an atonement for the holy place because of the uncleanness of the children of Israel, and because of their transgressions and all their sins. So shall he do for the tabernacle of the congregation that remaineth among them in the midst of their uncleanness. He was doing atonement for the Israelites, for himself, for his house, and for the Israelites, the nation, the congregation. So when we look at Yahawashi, what we read in Ephesians, right, we get redemption through his blood, right? Yahawashi only laid himself down for the Israelites. So this goes back to the example when we look at Noah, right? Those a few only being preserved. The Lord didn't need many, right? 2nd Ezra 8:3. Go read it, right? Yahawashi is doing the same thing he did before, again, but to the actual descendants from that chosen bloodline, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? This is the book of Romans, the 8th chapter, verse 29 to 30. And it reads, for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren, men and women, which is the elect, starting with the 144,000. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called, In whom he called, them he also justified. In whom he justified, them he also glorified, which is the elect, right? Because the just shall live by faith. And those that are justified, they live by faith. And it's the elect. Only the elect is those that truly have faith. Only the elect is going to be glorified on this side. So this is happening right now. The elect are being sealed. Prophecy is unfolding. The revelations of Israel is not a possibility. It's a divine decree. So when you look at Revelations, the 7th chapter, verse 1 all the way to 4, dealing with the 144,000 has to be sealed before the wind, the destruction. And then, of course, simultaneously, the 1/3, which accumulate the great multitude, should be sealed before Yahawashi even beams them up, okay? Which is the elect that were foreknown or predestined, right? So the kingdom is already written. Yahawashi said his kingdom is not of this world because it's the next world already prepared. 2nd Esdras 8:52, for unto you is paradise open, the tree of life is planted, the time is come, Salaki, the time to come is prepared, right? Because this is already prepared, right? When we look at Isaiah 46:10, if he declared the end from the beginning, it's already done, right? Even though in our time, we have to fulfill this, right? We have to walk this thing out. Daniel 7:18, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Now, prophecies is a foretelling of the future. And all these prophecies come from Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, right? Luke 12:32, fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. And that's all going to start with the elect, okay? So there's no alternate route, no backup plan, no delay button. Every prophecy will hit like lightning, judgment, destruction, and salvation. This truth is not a hobby. It's an unfolding will of Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi. So the mindset of the elect is what? I'm not looking for another way out. I'm walking the straight gate because this is the way. Who is the way? St. John 14:6. Yahawashi. He's the way, the truth, and the life. Okay? So 2nd Esdras 4:37. By measure have he measured the times, and the Most High will show to the world that which is past, that which is to come. So everything is written, is happening exactly as he said it would. Ain't no backup plan. This is the plan, right? So Lord willing, you're pursuing to be of the vessels made for honor, because the vessels that's made for dishonor, are they gonna be destroyed? And all praises to Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, Brakat to Yahawah, Brakat to Yahawashi. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And a mighty shalom to the whole full elect, scattered four corners of the earth. Lord willing that y'all all can continue in sound doctrine in the same spirit. Shalom to the Aquav, believers of this faith and this truth. Lord willing you continue to pursue your lot. And Lord willing Yahawah Shemashai has mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not of faith. Shalom, shalom, abba. Ain't no backup plan. This shit is happening.